Users of Reddit, what is something you wish the opposite sex understood better? When she asks me what I'm thinking about and I say, nothing, I literally mean nothing. Other men I've talked to about this seem to have the same ability, and women don't. My brain can go into a weird standby state where there are no active thoughts, just static. I'm still aware of external stimuli but not processing anything but the most pertinent information. Like if someone says my name or if something unexpected moves in my peripheral vision, I'll react with the same speed as if I were paying close attention to my surroundings, but I'm not sitting there thinking about sports, guns, music, cars, lumber, video games, beards, or whatever else my wife assumes I'm thinking about all the time. Just nothing. My girlfriend does this, so it's definitely not exclusively a man thing. I'm a man and I don't think I do this at all. I may say that I'm thinking about nothing when in actuality I'm thinking about something too personal or embarrassing to share, or something too complicated and niche to explain without being super boring. A good chunk of the men who need reassurance are most likely not getting enough compliments in the relationship. This isn't always the case, but I always felt insane dating certain people, and then with the right person who complimented me, is genuinely attracted to me and initiated things, and who actually loves me. I now think others weren't that attracted to me, even ex-fiancé, and I have never felt more confident and safe in a relationship. Looking back, my intuition was correct with the other people I dated, and that's why I never felt secure. Hello. I totally get what you mean. Before my current partner I never felt secure in my relationships due to lack of reassurance and affirming actions, which led to spiraling and wondering why I wasn't good enough. I would push the feeling down and try different things to get their attention and approval, but it only made me feel worse when they were unresponsive to my efforts, leading to a toxic cycle. You say that the right person makes all the difference, and it's completely true. I've never felt more secure and comfortable in a relationship until now, and holy yes, what a world of difference it is to have a partner that makes you feel cherished and communicates their affection through words and actions. So happy that you found your someone who makes you feel loved. I'm a woman, but both these messages rang so true to me. It's like every other person I was dating, I had to prove myself worthy of their admiration and affection, and now I have someone who loves me just as I am, off the bat. The relief and the security is amazing. This might be specific to me, but if I ask you out, and you say no, that's it. Like there's no lingering weirdness or anything. If you're not interested in me romantically, that's fine. I'm perfectly cool just being friends. I won't be awkward or anything about it, won't bring it up to mutual friends. It was just a question. Friend zone isn't a bad thing all the time. Sometimes it's where the best friends come from. It helps to communicate this in a straightforward way in the moment. I know when I've rejected friends, there's often still like at least a 75% chance they'll continue to hold a torch for me. I eventually learned to check back in a month or so after rejecting friends to make sure that we were good, and that seemed to help. But it's more helpful still to just be told right off the bat that my answer of no is respected and we can be friends going forward. Yeah, I've never got why the friend zone is a bad thing. I mean, I like friends, don't you? Only speaking for myself. Friends come in all shapes, sizes and personalities. You'll always find a friend somewhere. I have friends. What I lack is a partner who is the perfect shape, size and personality for me. And besides, the friend zone blurs lines for the friender. The friender gets all the benefits of having a friend while the friendee gets none of the benefits from having a partner. I dunno. Been friend zoned and it got messy. Other person ignored boundaries of our friendship. Got the intimate details with none of the intimacy. No thank you. Just because you keep telling me it's okay to have emotions doesn't mean I'm going to burst into tears. I have emotions, they're just quiet and don't bother people. I'm not emotionally distant or unfeeling. I'm just not going to burst into tears because the dog died in Marley and Me. I'll cry when my dog dies in My Dog and Me. This exactly. I don't have the link, but I remember reading something from someone who was FDM on here, and he was talking about how he thinks testosterone affects emotion because he just stopped crying, feeling as volatile, etc. Throw in socialization on top of that for most men, and it's evident we're gonna feel things differently. I'm not being some toxic male, I just don't cry. Nothing is wrong with that. Testosterone has a massive effect on emotions, at least for me. I used to cry at least every other night, and now I've cried 2 times since starting, which was 3 months ago. I still get emotional but less than I used to, and I really struggle to cry. I spend a few days watching the saddest videos and playing songs that always used to make me cry, but I physically couldn't anymore. I've heard it gets easier over time, but it was a really weird experience initially. FTM with endocrine disorder here. Testosterone does seem to make you cry less, but the crying/moodiness tends to come with the testosterone spikes and other hormonal changes during the menstrual cycle, which stops altogether. The key thing is the fluctuations themselves rather than the hormones specifically. So, whether it's down to testosterone itself, which I personally doubt as I get moodiest when my testosterone is spiking, or the lack of a menstrual cycle, is kind of hard to know. Please like and subscribe for daily content. I love you. We're honestly happy to help you lift stuff and carry stuff and put things away on high shelves. We like being big and strong. But please don't take it for granted. Show your appreciation. How would you show appreciation? In the moment I say thanks. Been with BF now 8 months going on 9, and he's helped me through lots of difficult situations. I've decided to make him a work lunch for when he goes back to work, to show I love him. I also give lots of surprise hugs or kisses. I know how gimmicky this sounds, but find out his love language. Telling him how much you appreciate him might be enough. Acts of love like making him his lunch might do it. Physical touch like a hug and kiss could do it as well. Everyone is different, and y'all would benefit so much from understanding each other love language and how to best show affection for one another. Yes. I have yet to have this discussion with him as we haven't been together long. Plus, I'm his first GF, so I'm not 100% sure if he himself knows what his love language is. I'll discuss it with him at some point, but I know for now he says I'm doing enough. You don't need to phrase it exactly in that way. For example, what is your love language? Because he may not relate to that terminology, but just try to understand what you do that makes him feel appreciated. Ask questions about stuff specific to your relationship. Do you like when I make you lunch? How do you feel when I surprise you with a kiss? Things like that. Maybe it's already been said, but intercourse is more than intercourse. It's a connection. When there is no connection, people get grumpy, testy, short-tempered and irritable. I'm not sure if it works the other way, but some women think that a guy only wants intercourse to get off. It's not always true. We can do that without you. Yeah. Saw this feminist article about how men have sex for ego and women have sex for connection. No. I can't speak for all men, but I certainly don't think about it like that at all. I want connection too. I think that's what we're all searching for in one way or another. Edit, I did not expect to attract that much interest here. I did oversimplify what I took away from the article, but I still really did not like what it said about men. I'll try to find it again and I'll put it here if I do. Might be off topic, but I've come to realize every woman I know have no idea how to spot a toxic male, but at the same time have warned me multiple times about toxic women I didn't think were toxic. We didn't believe each other at first, but were later proven wrong about every case. Anyone else had similar experiences? It's because, if they are straight, toxic men will be SY to men and charming to women, and the other way around. They can present as two totally different people. It is wild. I've known guys who were super chill around me and my guy friends, but apparently was super creepy around women. I'd have bet money the guy was cool, and I can see where the circle the wagons mentality comes from when guys dabs up for their buddies. Some folks really do have another face to them. Oh yeah, it works the other way around too. I've fallen for this with one of my coaches. There was the A team, which I was unknowingly a part of, And he was such an awesome coach to those people. I had no idea why some people hated him. Till I started realizing if you weren't on his A team, he either ignored you or treated you like absolute garbage. A guy would lose a match and he would take him aside and yell at him, basically calling him useless. If you didn't do something properly, he'd roll his eyes and say real athletic and walk away. He was two different people in the same room. I lost all respect for him. Yeah, I noted this with my GF. I can sit on the couch with the TV on and her next to me, and to me that's special and meaningful time together. I also like night drives together, walks, cooking dinner together, cuddling with our dog together, etc. Just general mundane things with her. For her though, she's often on her phone wanting to go on dates. So that means men and women, or at least her and I, have different ideas of what meaningful time together means. She wants or needs designated defined special time, or a date. Whereas I want or need just her, or in other words, every moment we spend together is a date. So we make an effort to go out together once a week, at least. I cringe at the price amounts some nights, but it makes her happy. My ex used to be a socialite and any downtime to her was torture. She needed to be active 100% of the time. Always had to be working, spending, socializing and so on. That stuff drains me after a few days. As a man, I'm tired of making the first move on things such as intimacy. Let us know you're involved and interested and want us by being the ones to initiate. Had the wife just remain naked in a hair towel and lay on the bed while I got dressed on her phone. She does this a lot and sometimes I get declined when I initiate. But other times she wants smexy time. Like I understand what you're trying to do, but what you're doing is trying to set up a scenario where I still make the first move and I don't like the gamble and mind games. Tell me or show me in a more apparent way that I'm wanted. I get this. My wife and I debate clapping a lot, and it almost always boils down to one of two things. I want you to initiate all the time and you are being pushy about clapping. Like she only wants clapped if I push it, but if she doesn't want it, then me pushing it is a huge problem. It's like rolling the dice every time. This is gonna lead to serious problems down the road if you don't find a middle ground. The resentment that'll build up around what's supposed to be a special and happy activity, ooh boy. This is exactly what I have been working on with my wife. Another thing is that it needs to be more than just one look for 2 seconds just as we sit down for dinner. I cannot read that kind of stuff, and am programmed by society at this point to never assume someone wants some. We don't always want dad-type presents, and sex with you is not substitute for a gift. We are never too old for toys/fun things pertaining to our interests. Thankfully in a relationship where she genuinely tries, which is nice because I spoil the crap out of her on holidays. Also we have a ton of sex so she doesn't view it as a present. I took a girlfriend on her dream vacation for her birthday and it cost me $4,000. On my birthday she bought some cheap sexy angel costume and sex was my only present. I was sick on my birthday and told her I didn't feel like having sex and she got really mad at me. We got in a fight and I told her that sex isn't a present and sex with her isn't worth anywhere close to $4,000 that I spend on her birthday. We broke up that week. If you don't accept a polite rejection, the rude rejection is your own fault. If I said something like sorry I am just here to have fun with my friends and you kept trying to get with me, I will tell you to F off as rudely as possible because that's the only language you understand. And no, you are not the victim in that situation. Oh my god, this. I had a male friend who very quickly became interested in me. Shut it down several times, and he kept badgering me about why I wasn't attracted to him. Like just would not let it go, hounding me over it, and I kept trying to be polite because I did genuinely enjoy him as a person and we vibed well. I just wasn't physically attracted to him in the slightest. Finally, after a particularly long, drawn-out, frustrating discussion, he accused me of lying to him about why I wasn't attracted. I said something to the effect of it's your face. Your face is just not a face I'm attracted to and I'm sorry but I can't change that I don't find you physically attractive in the slightest. I felt like a complete A, because that's an objectively mean thing to say, but my guy backed me into a corner. He was understandably hurt by what I said and we both needed some time apart to process. Moral of the story is, no one like to be mean, take the polite rejection and save everyone's feelings. I put the toilet seat down 99% of the time. Don't blame me for the 1% failure rate without giving me credit for the 99% success rate. You are also responsible for looking before you sit. I do. Stop moonwalking into the bathroom in the pitch black and look before you sit. Early on we just agreed on how we want the toilet to be and that if we noticed something off we wouldn't tell one another unless there's a pattern of it happening multiple times in a row. That includes if the toilet isn't flushed, if the toilet brush hasn't been used even though it was needed, if the lid is open, etc. It's worked well to minimize irritation. That I've been hurt before. Like, I know it's not your problem, I know I need to get over my past experiences and I know you aren't at fault, but I'm still gonna do what I need to do to protect myself and ensure I don't get hurt again. Like, I feel like so many women have a get over it attitude when I tell them my ex lied about being assaulted. She told me her ex had assaulted her and I stayed in a sexless relationship because I thought it's what I was supposed to do. I thought that gut feeling was me being the worst type of guy. When she told me the truth, that she cheated, I almost cried because I knew it all along and to know it just broke me. When I say I don't like being exclusive until I know we are active sexually, so many women act like I'm the worst type of guy in the world, as if I can't be loyal, but the truth is I'm afraid of getting into an exclusive relationship and being lied to again. She used me because I'm the type of guy who stays when you're struggling. She used me because she could. Just like you can't tell a potential woman beater or stalker or assaulter from a normal dude, I can't tell the difference between someone who's gonna use me and someone who won't. Sorry about the long comment. Just hurts sometimes. You must not internalize other people's opinions. They're entitled to their own thoughts and standards just like you are, and them sticking to their boundaries and not settling for something that doesn't work for them doesn't mean they think you're the worst type of guy in the world. It's okay to feel how you feel and to do what you need to do to protect yourself. If you don't believe that, you can't expect others to. Edit. Also, maybe it goes without saying, but you don't have to stay in a relationship indefinitely if you feel like you're being lied to, or if you're not getting your needs met sexually. If your gut is telling you something is off, you can just leave. It doesn't make you a bad person. That having an outlet for intimacy needs really is not that easy for men. I feel like the perspective women have on dating is entirely colored by the average woman's experience of being able to get that pretty easily from someone, even if it is only temporary, and that's not even to mention platonic intimacy with friends. It's hard to describe what it's like to go without it for a long period of time to someone who has never had to do so, or does so by choice. Like, even just knowing you're wanted/desired by someone can satiate that to some degree. Feeling invisible sucks. I'm not really going through that now, and I do think some women get it, but I feel like there's this whole conversation that a lot of women aren't really willing to acknowledge. They feel like it's tied in with the whole capital I incel sort of thing. That movement actually has definitely some deranged S as well, for sure, reasonable points at its base, but the way that they assign blame and what they look to for solutions are terrible. Men so want a woman to be that one person they can finally open up to. Women back away from that, say they don't want to be the sole source of intimacy, and make statements like "I'm your girlfriend, not your therapist." So even when men have achieved the goal, it's sometimes pulled away from them. I don't want a bunch of friends, I don't want to pay someone to talk to, I don't want a support system, I just want someone I can talk with who will be there when I get home and make it feel safe even when we're not talking.